I was reaching for the wine when I felt him behind me. The kitchen was dark except for the light spilling from the open fridge, casting a cool glow over the tile floor. Jake's hands found my hips, warm, sure, and far too familiar. It wasn't a surprise, not really. The way his breath hit the back of my neck, thick with whiskey from the party we'd just left, made it clear he'd been thinking about this all night. The silk of my dress gave way under his fingertips like it was meant for this moment. His thumbs traced lazy circles just above my knee, dipping higher with each breath I didn't take. My back pressed into his chest, feeling the steady thrum of his heart, fast but controlled. He wasn't guessing. He knew exactly what he was doing. When I turned, the counter met my spine with a sharp edge. Jake braced his arms on either side of me, close but not touching. That space between us pulsed with something electric, something old, something forbidden. His gaze dropped to my mouth. Somewhere down the hall, the sound of our roommate's shower started. Pipes groaned like they disapproved. Jake's smile was all teeth and confidence as he leaned in, not quite a kiss, more like a promise. His lips brushed the corner of mine, featherlight. The wine bottle slipped from my fingers, rolling softly across the floor. Forgotten. Jake's hands returned to my waist, sliding up under the thin fabric of my dress. His fingertips skimmed my ribs with unbearable patience, coaxing a shiver out of me. Or maybe that was the open fridge behind us, still humming quietly. He backed me toward the table until the wooden edge hit the back of my thighs. He nudged my knees apart with a slow confidence that made my breath hitch. Denim grazed the inside of my legs. I reached for the loop of his belt, but he caught my wrist gently and pinned it to the table behind me. His other hand found the strap of my dress, inching it down my shoulder, his breath hot against my skin. We froze when the water shut off. Footsteps creaked in the hall, our roommate, heading for the kitchen. Jake didn't move. He shielded me with his body, his thumbs still drawing lazy circles near the edge of my underwear. Our eyes met, and I knew what he was asking. Could I be quiet? I nodded. The sink turned on. Water rushed into a glass, loud enough to cover the sharp inhale I tried and failed to hold back. Jake's fingers dipped lower, and the cold metal of the table bit into my back as I arched up to meet him. My nails found his shoulders. The water shut off. Footsteps receded. A door clicked shut. Silence. Then his lips found mine. It wasn't soft. It was relief and risk and everything that had been unsaid. The air shifted around us. His restraint snapped. The kitchen disappeared. He lifted me onto the table. Something clattered to the floor, a fork, maybe. I didn't care. His thumbs hooked into the lace at my hips. His breath caught when I moved against him. Moonlight carved pale silver lines down his chest, exposed beneath an open shirt. He bent down, mouth finding the pulse at my throat. I bit back a sound as his fingers teased along the edge of lace. A car alarm wailed outside. The microwave blinked 2:17 a.m. None of it mattered. His belt slid free from his jeans with a hiss. I reached for him. Again, he caught my wrist and pinned it over my head. His eyes searched mine, asking, always asking. I nodded. He groaned against my skin as he pushed into me. The table scraped across the tile. I knew the sound echoed down the hallway, but neither of us stopped. Each thrust brought us closer to the edge of something that felt inevitable. Then, suddenly, the fridge motor kicked on. Lights spilled over us. We froze, caught mid-heist. Jake's shirt hung half open. My dress was wrinkled around my waist, sweat cooling fast on my bare skin. We stared at each other, wide-eyed, breathless. Then we laughed, quiet and breathless, like it might undo the spell if we were too loud. He leaned his forehead against mine, grinning. "We're a mess," he whispered. I nodded, lips trembling with something between joy and disbelief. He reached behind me, grabbed a towel, and began dabbing at the red wine now pooling like a stain across the table. It bloomed like watercolor, permanent. The kitchen smelled like citrus and salt and us. Jake's belt lay coiled beside the fruit bowl. My underwear had vanished into the chaos. He handed me a glass of water, his thumb brushing mine. The cold glass shocked my system back to life. When I looked up, he was still watching me, wanting, but softer now. By the time we gathered our things, Dawn had tinted the windows a soft, blushing pink. My legs trembled when I stepped down from the table. Jake's arm wrapped around my waist, steadying me. He pressed a kiss to my temple. No words. None were needed. We had already said everything without speaking at all.